Money in the Bank is just hours away, but up first, the go-home episode of SmackDown. Welcome in two big triple threat matches tonight involving the WWE qualifiers for the respective Money in the Bank ladder matches. Up first, the ladies will be in action, and later on tonight, the men as well. Also tonight, we will run through the WWE side of the Money in the Bank card, and the WWE World Champion Roman Reigns, the OTC, is here, and we will hear from him as well. Let's get to the action. Opening match of the night, Charlotte Flair, Raquel Rodriguez, and Chelsea Green. They make up the WWE side of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had a similar match with the WCW qualifiers earlier this week on Thunder. Bianca Belair, Julia, and Rhea Ripley, and it was Bianca Belair, the only previous Money in the Bank briefcase holder here in the open mic universe. She was victorious in that triple threat match. We will see who comes out of this one right now. Raquel with the cover, Charlotte in with a kendo stick. She stops the count. No disqualifications, no countouts, anything goes. Pretty much what we can expect at Money in the Bank. The only difference is you don't have to climb a ladder tonight to get the win. Raquel now grabbing a kendo stick of her own. Charlotte with a splash, and then takes a receipt from Raquel. Raquel with another cover. Only gets a 2. Is Chelsea able to kick out? Again, no real advantage in this one. Maybe a slight momentum boost heading into Money in the Bank. Obviously, the flip side of that, the other side of the coin, you could sustain an injury here tonight, and that could hurt your chances at walking out of Money in the Bank with the briefcase. Now Chelsea in the driver's seat. Charlotte up and from behind. Raquel wisely rolling out to the floor. Kind of feels like Chelsea's kind of going back and forth, kind of taking the brunt from both Charlotte and Raquel. Spear from the Queen. Charlotte and Raquel, both former multi-time WCW Women's Champions. Chelsea Green still looking for her first championship in the open mic universe. On the flip side, over in the WCW side of things, Julia, the only non-former champion over there. Bianca Belair, a former champion, as well as Rhea Ripley. And like I mentioned earlier in this match, Bianca, the only former Money in the Bank ladder match winner that is in this year's field. She will not only look to be a two-time Miss Money in the Bank, but also to do it in consecutive years. Natural selection from Charlotte, and then eats a boot from Raquel Rodriguez. Chelsea down and out. Raquel. Tejana bomb to Charlotte, but Chelsea makes the save. This one continues on. And now a suplex into a pin attempt, but Chelsea only able to get a 1. Chelsea now with a bat, but Charlotte able to roll out of the way. And now Charlotte hooks the leg, and Raquel up in just the nick of time to stop the count. Charlotte down to the floor. Raquel misses with the kendo stick. Charlotte making her way out on the outside of the ring. Chelsea unprettier. And Charlotte stops the count. Raquel down. Charlotte, who brought a sledgehammer into the ring, but has not been used. And Chelsea now with the sledgehammer. Cracks it down on Raquel. Let's see if she does the same here to Charlotte, and she does. And again with the sledgehammer. Chelsea now turning her attention to Raquel. Sends her, no, reversal. Elbow to the face, but a block there. And now Raquel gets Chelsea up. Charlotte now back to her feet. And Chelsea Green dropped down on that top rope. Raquel scoops Charlotte up. Fall away slam. Goes for the cover. Here comes the referee. No. Doesn't make the count. Raquel now covers Chelsea. Charlotte rolls out to the floor, back in, but not in time. Raquel Rodriguez, your winner here tonight, as she defeats Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green. Now it's time for the men's triple threat match. Out first, Jey Uso. Next, it's Gunther, the only man in this year's men's Money in the Bank ladder match who is a former Mr. Money in the Bank. And then rounding out our triple threat, CM Punk. Jey, a former world champion. Gunther, still looking for his first world championship, as well as CM Punk. But Gunther does have the advantage of being a former Mr. Money in the Bank. He won the very first Money in the Bank ladder match back in year one of our universe. The WCW Triple Threat Qualifier match from Thunder earlier this week saw Cody Rhodes, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. And in somewhat of an upset, Trick Williams walked away with the victory as he defeated two former world champions. Damian Priest, a former one-time WWE world champion. Cody Rhodes, a former two-time WWE world champion and one-time WCW world champion. A hell of a performance from Trick Williams as he pulled off the miracle victory, the upset victory. We will see if there's a little more magic come Money in the Bank. Punk now using the chair. Lays out Gunther, lays out Jey. When Gunther was the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, he showed a lot of patience. He held on to that briefcase for almost a year, taking it all the way up to WrestleMania 1. And he would cash in mid-match in a match for the WCW World Heavyweight title. It was champion Drew McIntyre and former champion and Royal Rumble winner of that year, AJ Styles. Although for Gunther, it was not a good night as it was an unsuccessful cash-in. And while we did have a new WCW World Champion that night, it was actually AJ Styles who walked out with that big gold belt. Since that time, Gunther has been trying to get back on top. Roll up there from Jey. Now Gunther sends Jey into the corner. Punk rolls out of the way. CM Punk still looking for his first championship here in the universe. He knows the value of that Money in the Bank briefcase. Gunther doesn't even get a 1 count there. Jey on the outside now, getting back to his feet. Jey with a kendo stick now, but Gunther able to avoid getting cracked with it. Reversal there from Jey. Lifts Gunther up. Now Punk under the ring. Grabs a kendo stick of his own. Connects with the body of Jey Uso, as well as Gunther. Punk with the cover, but only gets a 2 as Gunther able to kick out. Gunther now down to the floor. Jey back to his feet. Punk back out on the apron. Jey wisely rolls out to the floor. Now he's back in. Punk down to the floor. Gunther now with Jey. Now he and Punk working together. No, Jey cracks their skulls together. I gotta say, that's an odd alliance between those two. There's a lot of bad blood between CM Punk and Gunther. Float over DDT from Jey Uso, and he's got a chair now. But Punk able to roll out of the way. Now Jey down. Punk again, now Gunther down. CM Punk seems to be liking being on that apron. He keeps going there. Clothesline up and over. Gunther down. Now Jey delivering. Nope. Blocked there from Punk, but then the super kick connects. Jey kind of not sure where to go. Focusing in now on Gunther, but Punk from behind. Gunther down, Jey down. Punk with the cover, hooks Jey's leg, but gets a 2 as Jey kicks out. Now Punk turning his attention to Gunther. Jey now back to his feet. Jey lifted up. GTS from CM Punk hooks the leg. And Jey at the last second gets his shoulder up. He's leaning on the ropes, but he looks like he's half out of it. Punk unable to lift Gunther up. Gunther blocks. Reversal there from Punk. Reversal from Punk again as Jey Uso down. Suplex from the ring general, and now he has got a kendo stick. Goes for the cover on Jey. Punk back in. Stops the count. Knee to the midsection from Gunther. Punk goes across the ring. Jey out. Jey back in. Back suplex into a neck breaker. Jey now with the kendo stick. Rolls CM Punk over. But Punk kicks out at 2. Gunther trying to get back to his feet. Jey turned his back. Gunther with a powerbomb. And that will do it. Gunther, your winner. He will head into Money in the Bank looking to become a 2-time Mr. Money in the Bank. Now let's preview the WWE side of the Money in the Bank card. Bronson Reed's been a bully since getting drafted over here to WWE. He'll be in a handicap match against 2 of his victims, Fraxium. Becky, Asuka, 2. These 2 put on an all-time classic at In Your House, and Asuka almost walked out the new WWE Women's Champion. They run it back at Money in the Bank. Who is walking out with the gold? The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Julia, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Chelsea Green, Bianca Belair, and Raquel Rodriguez. Who walks out of Money in the Bank? This year's Miss Money in the Bank. And then in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Gunther. It's not necessarily who's the biggest or the most experienced. It could come down to luck and speed. We'll find out just who that will be in just a few hours. Making his way to the ring, the WWE World Champion, and a man that will definitely have his eyes on that Money in the Bank ladder match. Roman Reigns, let's hear from the OTC. Your tribal chief just wanted to come out here with a little public service announcement to whoever wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. Just go ahead and make plans to cash that thing in over in WCW, because if you bring it over here, you're just wasting that briefcase if you think you're cashing in on me. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time from Money in the Bank.